Imagine a time, not so very long ago, when a bear roamed the rugged landscapes of North Africa. This was the Atlas bear, the only native bear our planet has ever known on the African continent. It lived in the Atlas Mountains, a vast range stretching across modern-day Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. This was its kingdom, a world of dense forests, high plateaus, and hidden caves. The bear was a sturdy creature, well suited to its environment. It was a truly remarkable animal, a symbol of a wilder Africa that has now, tragically, vanished from our world, leaving behind only whispers and scattered records. The Atlas bear, known to science as Ursus arctos crowtheri, was a subspecies of the brown bear. However, it possessed its own unique characteristics. It was generally smaller than its European and North American relatives, with a stocky, powerful build. Its fur was a dark, shaggy brown, sometimes appearing almost black, with a lighter reddish-brown hue on its underparts. Some accounts even mention a striking white marking on its muzzle. The bear's face was shorter, and its claws less formidable than those of a grizzly, yet it was perfectly adapted for climbing the rocky slopes and navigating the thick undergrowth of its mountain home. These bears were a testament to the incredible adaptability of life. They carved out an existence in a habitat that many would not associate with bears today. The forests of pine, oak, and cedar provided them with shelter and sustenance, a green oasis surrounded by the drier lands of North Africa. The very presence of a bear in this part of the world speaks volumes about the rich biodiversity that once flourished there. It is a poignant reminder that the natural world is full of surprises, and that its history is far more complex and interconnected than we often assume. We can only picture them now, lumbering through the misty mornings of the Atlas Range. Their story is not just one of natural history, but also a profound and sorrowful tale of loss. The Atlas bear walked the same lands that saw the rise of ancient civilizations, from the Berbers to the Romans. For thousands of years, it was an integral part of this ecosystem, a powerful and iconic resident of the North African wilderness. To understand this bear is to journey back in time, to witness a piece of our planet's natural heritage that was erased before we truly had the chance to appreciate or understand it. Its memory serves as a silent, powerful guardian of a world we can no longer see. The daily life of an Atlas bear was one dictated by the seasons and the search for food. Like most bears, it was an omnivore, with a diet that shifted depending on what was available. It would spend its days foraging for a wide variety of foods, using its keen sense of smell to locate its next meal. Its diet consisted mainly of plants, from acorns and pine nuts to roots and succulent shoots. This plant-based diet was supplemented with whatever else it could find. The bear was not a fearsome predator of large animals, but it would certainly not pass up an opportunity for an easier meal. In the forests and grasslands, the Atlas bear would dig for insects and grubs, overturn rocks in search of small lizards, and perhaps even catch the occasional small mammal. It was an opportunistic feeder, a survival strategy that allowed it to thrive in the varied terrain of the mountains. This adaptability was key to its long existence in the region. The bear was a solitary creature for much of the year, preferring to wander its territory alone. Mothers, however, would be seen with their cubs, teaching them the vital skills needed to survive in the wild, from finding the best berry patches to avoiding potential dangers. Shelter was crucial, and the Atlas bear made its home in the many caves and crevices that dotted the mountain range. These dens provided protection from the elements, whether it was the heat of the summer sun or the cold of the winter months. It is believed that, like other brown bears in temperate climates, they may have undergone a period of winter dormancy, though perhaps not a full hibernation due to the milder climate. In these quiet, secluded places, they would rest and raise their young, hidden away from the world. This secretive nature made them elusive, a mysterious presence in the mountains. The rhythm of their existence was deeply connected to the natural cycles of the Atlas Mountains. They were a part of the landscape, as much as the ancient cedar trees and the soaring eagles. Their foraging helped to disperse seeds, shaping the very forest they inhabited. Their presence indicated a healthy, functioning ecosystem, one that was rich and diverse enough to support a large mammal. For centuries, this was the way of the Atlas bear, a life of quiet resilience in one of Africa's most stunning natural theaters, a life lived in harmony with the world around it. The decline of the Atlas bear began thousands of years ago, with the expansion of human civilization into its territory. The Roman Empire, in its relentless quest for resources and entertainment, cast a long and dark shadow over North Africa. The wild landscapes that the bears called home were seen as a source of exotic animals for the brutal spectacles of the arena. Thousands of bears, along with lions and leopards, were captured and shipped across the Mediterranean. This relentless hunt, known as venatio, was the first major blow, drastically reducing the bear populations and pushing them into more remote, inaccessible areas. As centuries passed, the pressures on the Atlas bear's habitat intensified. The human population in North Africa grew, and with it, the need for land and resources. The dense forests that were the heart of the bear's world began to shrink. Trees were felled for timber, fuel, and to make way for agriculture and livestock grazing. This deforestation fragmented the bear's habitat, creating isolated pockets where populations could no longer interbreed. The bears were pushed higher and higher into the mountains, competing for ever-dwindling resources in a world that was rapidly changing around them. The arrival of modern firearms in the 19th century sealed the Atlas bear's fate. What was once a challenging and dangerous hunt became tragically efficient. The bears were hunted not only for sport, but also because they were seen as a threat to livestock, a competitor for the land. There was little understanding or appreciation for the bear's role in the ecosystem. It was simply viewed as a pest to be eliminated. This final intense period of persecution was more than the remaining scattered populations could withstand. The last strongholds of the Atlas bear began to fall silent one by one. The very last confirmed sighting of an Atlas bear is thought to have occurred in the late 19th century, possibly in the Rif Mountains of northern Morocco. There were unconfirmed reports into the 1930s, but no definitive proof was ever found. The Atlas bear did not disappear in a single dramatic event. Instead, it faded away slowly, a gradual extinction driven by centuries of habitat loss and relentless persecution. It slipped into history, becoming a ghost of the mountains, its extinction a stark and tragic example of humanity's destructive impact on the natural world. The story of the Atlas bear is more than just a sad chapter in a history book. It is a profound and urgent lesson for us today. It teaches us that extinction is forever. Once a species is gone, it can never be brought back. We lost not just an animal, but an entire branch of the tree of life, a unique expression of evolution that had adapted to a specific corner of our world. The silence in the Atlas Mountains where the bear once roamed is a permanent one. This loss diminishes the richness and complexity of our planet, and it should serve as a powerful warning to us all. We are now living in a time of unprecedented environmental change driven by human activity. Countless species around the globe face the same threats that drove the Atlas bear to extinction: habitat destruction, climate change, and direct persecution. From the orangutan in the forests of Borneo to the polar bear on the melting Arctic ice, the parallels are undeniable. We are repeating the mistakes of the past, but on a much larger global scale. The fate of the Atlas bear shows us what happens when we fail to act, when we value short-term gains over the long-term health of our planet. However, its story can also be a source of inspiration. It compels us to look at the world around us with greater care and deeper responsibility. We have the knowledge and the tools to protect the wildlife that remains. Conservation efforts across the globe are working tirelessly to save endangered species, to restore habitats, and to foster a more harmonious relationship between humanity and nature. Supporting these efforts is not just a choice, it is a necessity. We must become the guardians of the precious biodiversity that we are so fortunate to share our planet with. Let the memory of the Atlas bear be a call to action. Let us work to ensure that no more stories end in silence. We must protect the wild places and the magnificent creatures that inhabit them, for their sake and for ours. A world rich in life is a healthier, more wonderful, and more resilient world for all of us. The future of countless species is in our hands. Let us choose a future where we celebrate and protect life in all its forms, ensuring that the wild heart of our planet continues to beat strongly for generations to come.